They say never sit in between Hinduja brothers. That's why I'll sit on the side. Never come in between Hinduja brothers. I'll sit here. And I've kept you on my right side, so I'm playing it very safe. Yeah, the other way around. The other way around. If we just want to tap it and just see it. Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming all the way from London, Gopiji. Ashokji, thank you for coming. Just to set the tone here for the audience here, Hinduja Group needs no introduction whatsoever. But in terms of the backdrop, if I have to give here, they were the first NRI families who invested in India. And I've been told that as an NRI investment, this is the Hinduja Group of companies have been the largest investor done by any NRI family. But I'm going to not talk about past. I'll talk about future. Now, the Hinduja Group has 11 verticals. You're present in business of manufacturing, cyber tech, aviation partly, defense, and also making commercial vehicles.
Don't forget banking and finance.
Of course.
That is our key.
Okay. What the theme of the conference today is what will take India to 5 trillion. 5 trillion economy. That is the theme of the conference. As an investor, as an entrepreneur, for someone who always looks for taking risk, provided there is a indication on return and safety of capital, how would you judge the Indian economy right now?
You see, we brothers have been watching the world economic scene since I personally for 60 years. The group has existed over 104 years. We have seen many ups and downs. As our Honorable Petroleum Minister is here, I would like to draw his attention. Sir, I was very much involved when the crude oil was $2.40 per barrel. Then it jumped to 10, then it jumped to $34. Then I saw 150, and now we are lingering at 80. And in this, we saw so many ups and downs in the world, in economy, that our late father, the founder, made certain principles and values for the family. The most important was to be geographically divided all over the world. So, sir, we are in 48 countries of the world. He never wanted the family to be in one business. So we have over 11 verticals directly, but indirectly, again, we are in all startup businesses. Wherever we find some young entrepreneurs wanting to do something, we jump in. Coming back to your questions, I always believe nothing is impossible. 5 trillion is not a very big figure. It is achievable. If you look back, 10 years back, what was our economy? We were at about 900 million.
Less than a billion.
Yes. So when we could achieve to 2.7, there is no reason when the economy has grown, we cannot reach 5 trillion. You have to see where what is going wrong and how to correct it. In India, we have the most talented people of the world with the highest culture which you can find anywhere in the world. Sir, I have traveled all around the world, and believe me, I am proud of being Indian. I am proud of working in India, and when I worked with an Indian, I find a lot of talent, skills, entrepreneurship. You leave any Indian in any desert, he will know how to make money. If you look back, the greatest wealth what India has, I think government should pay more attention to that. What is the greatest wealth, sir? Can I ask you?
You know, a Sindhi asking Marwadi on wealth is always a dangerous question.
You see, India has the greatest wealth is overseas citizens of India and non-resident Indians. When they left India, they left with empty pockets. If you see today, whether it is USA, whether it is UK, whether it is Europe, you will find all successful Indians, including from Africa who come. Why? What is the reason they could be very successful in those parts of the world? Why not in India? In India also, each and every Indian can flourish and can take this 5 trillion to 10 trillion. Why are you aiming at 5 trillion?
It's a milestone, not the end game.
I know, there is a lot achievable, but there are certain steps which we can take. Look, I am not an economist, I am not an educated person, but our founder taught us one thing: how to become entrepreneur, how to make sure that we have basic education, but we should know how to face all the difficulties in life. When you find any obstacles in life, don't get worried. Take them not as stopping stones, but as stepping stones. And this is how you can move forward. There are certain steps to be taken by government. The vision of the Prime Minister is excellent. Prime Minister Modi has really taken the name of India all over the world on the top. There is no place where the Indians are not respected. I remember first when I left India, I was 16 years old, and with this Indian passport, the immigration officers all over the world, wherever we landed, they used to put 50 questions. Now when we go, they salute us, they respect us. And Prime Minister Modi has really been able to create a great name for India. The vision what he gave, the steps what he took, like make ease to do business, make in India. Now all these things have been good, but his team has to be fast. His team has to move forward. You see, the British model of bureaucracy is still existing here, whereas Britain has already modified their bureaucracy. So the first step we have to take to see how the bureaucracy can be modified. I don't say change, modified, and the reforms come there.
That's a subtle way of saying you want the bureaucracy to change when you say modified.
Yes. Not change. Not change.
Okay.
Because media always knows how to misquote and put us in trouble, which we don't want.
But you also were in media business. You also had interest in media.
That is the distribution.
Definitely. We have interest in media. I remember we had bought 2 newspapers, but then some of our friends requested us to hand over. You see, we believe in one thing in life and in our family. I think it's the only family in the world where we don't have shareholding. Nothing belongs to anyone, and everything belongs to everyone in the family. And whatever we have, it is meant for society, and it is to be given away. And the reason why we work, even at this age, my children tell me, Dad, Uncle, why have you to work? I say, I have to work because it gives me fun, it gives me enjoyment, and I like to do new things. For example, I took initiative in cyber security. They say, Dad, you are from old economy. Why are you going into cyber security? Because from my experience tells me the future is cyber security. Ashok, you like to add something?
Yeah, I would like to.
So, Ashokji, I have a very pointed question. The Hinduja brothers have love for motherland. You are one of the biggest NRI families who've always invested. But if I look at the total Hinduja group, less than 50% of your total business interest is in India. And in last 5 years, despite what Gopiji said about skill and scale, you've not made large investments. What is stopping you from making large investments in India when the skill is there, opportunity is there, demographics also there? Is it policy or something else? Are you not feeling safe?
Very good question. Do you remember, have you seen our statement? It was 6 or 7 years back. We wanted to come and invest $20 billion more in this country. When we started getting in, we could see so many obstacles. It was not easy to do business. And when Mr. Modi announced, make East to do business, we said he's a God-sent person and now things will change. But the speed of change has to be much faster. We would love to invest more and more in this country because India has the maximum opportunities to invest from all over the world.
Ashokji, let's get into your views. How easy it is to do business in India?
I think, let me answer you in a different way. A country like India, which is huge, it's like a nation, system processes have to change. We see there is a lot of criticism from the corporate world, from SMEs, the fear and psyche of business. My view is the fear and psyche has to be there. If you have to change 6, 7 decades old system processes, there has to be a danda, there has to be a stick to be shown, but at the same time, there has to be a limit. And that limit is today for everything, even for a small errors or problems, it's a criminal. The criminal has to change to civil. If it is changed, things becomes more easier. I don't say that system process should not change, it should change because we need more transparency. Not only that, for your 5 trillion economy, it's time now to convert a rupee fully convertible. And overseas Indians who are remitting, today India is the only country, the first country which gets 80 billion of funds from the overseas Indians, which is what? Hardly 18% of the reserves. Why not 40 or 50%? They are ready to come in, they are ready to bring funds in, but they are not treated same like resident Indian. Why the policies are different for overseas Indians than the resident Indian? If that is so, see China. We just heard in the earlier program that 14 trillion economy of China, how did it grow? It started with overseas Chinese. They came in, they got a red carpet welcome. So why not in India? If you do so and you see from 18%, straight away it will go to 30 to 40%.
But, so if I talk about the taxes in India, the corporate taxes have been reduced. The criticism earlier was that we did not have lower tax rates. The lower tax rates have been bought into it. Things have moved in terms of single window clearances. Things have moved in the right direction in terms of the ease with which things would move. They are not idle. Nothing is idle ever. The entrepreneur will always want an idle scenario. Idealism only exists in books. But things have improved. But the same rate of change which the government and the current administration has done has not really translated into big ticket commitments. $80 billion is not a large amount. When will we see that the turn? When will we see the change happening? When will the world realize that, look, India is where the growth is, demographics are, and things are moving in the right direction? Anyone can pick it up.
So your bottom line question is what?
What will it take from the administration to convince you to not put in $20 billion but $50 billion of capital in India?
We want ease of doing business. Firstly, whatever the government commits and signs, they should honor it. We were the first one when the 8 fast-track power projects were signed. Although we were not in power sector, but we agreed to come in. We invested 8,500 crores. You know, it took us, instead of 4 years, 8 years to complete the project. The fight between state and the center. And having signed with the sovereign guarantee, they requested that we should convert into the state guarantee. And the state, all discoms are not good paymasters. You don't get the money back. When you don't get the money back, the banks who have lent the money, they can't get the money back. We are the only group in the country, despite discoms not paying, we are paying all our installments. Now, if you need more bankruptcies, then these are the examples where you get stuck. As my brother rightly mentioned, rupee should be convertible. You don't worry about the plight of capital from here out, because there are no other opportunities in the world to invest other than India. If you are asking from a global person, people love to come and invest in India. They should be treated with a red carpet treatment. And then you see how the money is flourishing. I can give you an excellent example. We were the first Indians to go to China and put a plant. The governor, the minister there, they came at the airport with a red carpet because we invested in China. Now, when you come here to invest, it takes a lot of time to get things cleared. Now, I remember in the days of Manmohan Singh, in the days of Narasimha Rao, they all said one window clearance. I never saw one window. There were more than 286 windows. And how many bankruptcies have we seen in due course? We saw rising business people and coming down business people. So, sir, we are conservatives. But if today you tell me, GP, these are the projects across the table you are willing to sign, I will give you one check of 20 billion.
Well, the minister is here, so I'm sure we get into an engaging conversation.
We'll be more than happy. Sir,
right.
As I mentioned to you, we have seen from $2.40
right.
to 10 to 34 and 50, and we were the first one. When there was shortage of crude oil, we got from Iran the first target of 2.5 million tons of crude oil.
Right.
And there was no foreign exchange in the country. We succeeded in getting on soft terms at 3%.
Right.
And not with money,
Right.
with love and affection for the country.
Okay. So we got to wrap up this session here. Ayesha's out to take us to the center. Let's put hands together, Hinduja brothers. They've been very vocal about what needs to be done and what should be done to make India a $5 trillion economy. Thank you, sir, all the way coming from London.
Let me clarify one thing, because I was introduced as the overseas Indian brothers. So I'm a Desi brother, he's a Videshi brother.
Both of you are Desi.
So he's an overseas Indian, I'm a resident Indian. So I
But
thought it's
Desi
better
at
to
heart.
clarify.
Okay, thank you to both of you. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, while we talk about growth, it's also important to talk about